Do you think that Teresa shares any blame in her conflicts with Joe and Melissa, or do you think it's Joe and Melissa all by themselves, really?
Oh God, it's
Question.
definitely both are to blame. There's no question. Now I'm going to tell you why, and Teresa could get mad at me, and I don't
Who
care.
would you cast for the upcoming season, including yourself, if you want to throw yourself in there?
Put me in there. Now you're getting the truth. I should be number one. So I say, David, you're making a ton of money off of me.
The
Yeah.
most viral moments from that podcast are involved Kim D.
You were just working
You
for
made a
him.
couple
Who is that
made
kid?
a couple $100,000 off of me, if not more.
Oh, Kim. Oh, I'm
No.
so
Okay.
sorry.
In an OK Magazine article, you were rumored as a source,
Yeah.
saying that only Dolores and Melissa are returning to New Jersey, while Teresa's getting a spin-off. Can you confirm if you were actually the source?
I believe what this letter was a maybe letter. The other ones didn't get anything. They're released as of 6 months of February, which was February. They're released.
Hey, it's a brotherhood. Woohoo!
Yes.
Oh, we live.
I love the background.
Thank you. People make fun of me because they call it a Christmas tree. This is my bedroom. And I said, I enjoy having this tree up. It's decorated for Easter and my birthday falls on Easter. So I'm like, and if they don't like it, they don't have to look, right? So anyway, how's everything?
Great.
We are
We're so
so
excited to have
excited.
you.
Kim,
Yes.
as an entrepreneur behind the acclaimed women's boutique, Posh, and a standout reality TV personality, you've made waves in both business and on screen. We are so happy to have you on Bro Chat, Kim.
Listen, I'm excited to be here. I really am. Especially I saw all of you. I'm like, wow, I get all four. I love that.
Yeah,
All
that's
the
what I was talking about.
bros. So, Kim, there have been a lot of iconic moments on the Real Housewives of New Jersey at your boutique. What have been some defining moments in your business?
So I opened up my store. Danielle Staub comes walking into my store. I have no idea who the girl is. I don't know. The show's not even out. We never even heard of this. And she starts telling me how she's been filming this show with a bunch of animals and they're all so good. And this is, I'm like, what? And meanwhile, Jacqueline is shopping because I was in a strip mall. So Jacqueline is shopping at the end of the mall and she's going to the dry cleaners. Okay. Because whatever. So she's calling Jacqueline, you got to come to this boutique. It's great. So I make friends with them. All right. Danielle and I were friends. Everything was great. Now it comes time for them to film the opening. You know, when they have to open, they have their family behind the green screen. So Danielle comes to me. She goes, I'm scared to death. She goes, they're animals. They're going to come after me. Would you please come with me? Like almost like a bodyguard. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right. Meanwhile, I give her some stuff from Posh to wear, all that stuff. I go with her. They segregate her into a separate room with me, and she asks for a glass of wine. Of course, I don't, with a straw. Meanwhile, I'm friends with everybody, so I leave her. I go gallivanting all around and all that. That is the first season. So now I go on the show, the second season. Remember, because this was already filmed. Sitting in Caroline Manzo's backyard with my boyfriend at the time, who has passed away, and the cameras that Carlos King remembers me from this photo shoot. So he goes, there's nobody friends with Danielle anymore. Will you film? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. We're all drinking. We're drunk. Long story short, this is how it affects my business. So everybody's shopping at Posh. Nobody knows about me yet. All of a sudden, I see Dina Manzo do her confessional, right? Calling me two-faced because I was talking smack about Danielle, right? Because I said Danielle didn't pay me. So to get a reaction, I'm like, what? So now the phone in Posh is ringing off the wall. The place boomed and it was the hot place to be. They all shopped there. Caroline Manzo was coming there shopping. Then I happened to meet Teresa at that party in Caroline Manzo's backyard. Then Teresa comes into the store with Jacqueline. I serve them the mimosas. The show blows up. They all come in for they're all told they have to come to every Posh fashion show. It was mandated. mandated for a full cast whenever I had a fashion show that they wanted to film.
As it should be.
I mean, you got the best
As
scenes
it
in
should
those
be.
fashion
Yeah.
shows.
So even,
We talk about that season 2 you had. That was
I
like one of the
mean,
best scenes in that your fashion
in
show.
Housewives history, literally.
yeah. I mean,
Yes.
Bethany Frankel with Isaac Mizrahi did a whole podcast called Posh Spite on that whole episode of when I did like with the New Jersey. I had the best time filming, and Posh blew up, and it was just great. It was really good. I loved filming with the girls. I really did.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you reaped the benefits of it. I feel like some of the girls take it so personally and get so butthurt, but you can tell you really enjoy doing it,
Loved it.
which
And
makes for great TV.
listen, I believe now with what happened with Jersey, they were way too emotional. This last season, they took it too far. They flushed they flushed their careers right down the toilet.
I think not doing the reunion was one of the biggest graveyards
Oh
for them
my God. I
because
hated the
not
thing
being
they had
able to
in two
sit
different
there and
rooms.
not talk and not just face it. I think that was one of my favorite things about you on the show. And you would, I'll face anybody, anywhere.
Yeah.
You didn't care
Anywhere,
where it was going to
time,
happen.
place.
And it was so boss that you always made them come to you. They were always at your parties or at your store. Oh God, can I live for
I'm
it?
telling you, my son was so funny because my son was at the fundraiser where Ziggy and Dolores were
Yes.
walking. So my son was, of course, in the big room, and we were where the models were on a different floor. So when my son watches it back, he goes, "Mom," he goes, "why didn't you stand up like in the first?" I go, "I wasn't standing up for them." I said, "I'll take you all on," and I sat down until I finally got up, called them all dirty bitches, and flipped a chair.
And I love
Yeah,
it.
I'll take you all sitting down. Come on, all of you. Yeah. I go, you think you're going to get all mafia on me? You got the wrong bitch, honey. You got the
No,
wrong
that's right, Kim. I know that's
Because
right.
they came in all together. I remember that. They came in
Yeah.
all together. That's
And
when
you-
Order the
Melissa
line.
and Teresa
And handled them
Yeah.
one
were
by
still,
one.
they got together for a little bit and they came in right after you. And you sat there.
like,
I will never forget that scene.
Yeah. Listen, I loved it. I would always tell the girls, let my girls at least walk. Do your drama before or after, but let them walk, So, but yeah, listen, nothing fazed me. I went right back upstairs. My mother goes, "What happened?" I go, "Nothing. Everything's fine." And we just went on with the show. Even the fight between me and Joe Gorga, how crazy was that?
That was that solidified you. I feel like with Bravo.
Yeah.
Like they're like this is we need her. Like we need her.
Crazy. I never said those words. I play with the big boys. I don't know where that came from. Meanwhile, I named my book My Life with the Big Boys, and that year I got my biggest contract, which people say, "Oh, she wasn't paid." I got my biggest contract. So and I'm like, when I watched it back, I'm like, I was so shocked at the way I handled him and said, F you little midget. I played with the big boys. I swear to you, I never said those words. Never. I never even thought of it.
It just came, but that makes the best moments
just-
right off the dome.
Yeah.
The girls are too scripted nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And he was shook too when you said that. You could see it.
Yeah.
He was not ready for
He
you to
wasn't
come
ready,
in like
Kim.
that.
listen, he put his fist up to me.
And
And
Yeah.
Melissa grabbed
because they didn't really show that like that much.
because
Wow.
listen, if Joe Gorga would do today what he did back then, it could have been a big issue.
Yeah,
He got away with a lot,
especially like even the few episodes.
right? He got away with a lot,
He did, especially the first few seasons. They let him really kind of.
Yeah.
But he
So-
still gets away with a lot, Kim. Don't you
A
agree?
lot.
And why do you think
Yeah.
do you know? I know you know a lot of insider behind the scenes stuff. Why do you feel like they protect the Gorgas so much with this perfect edit, picture perfect family? We do nothing wrong.
Yeah. And they do a lot wrong. Okay, because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
it's a mystery to me. I think they really like Joe Gorga and the thing with the guys. I'm going to start with
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
They know how Melissa got on the show because one of the biggest producers and I became very close friends. I came close friends with both of them. And the one told me if I would have seen her audition tape, I would have fell on the floor. It was that bad as to how she was going to attack Teresa, how he was going to attack Teresa. I think that there's a lot of secrets that,
Yeah.
there's just a lot more secrets about what they intended to do to Teresa. And it's almost like we got to protect one or the other. And it certainly wasn't Teresa. They followed her ass right to jail, So, yeah, I think it's a little bit of we have to protect one to not let the cat out of the bag on the other. That's only my opinion. And I think that's because it's way too much. They never bring out on the show any of their issues, the people they owe money to, the
Nope.
lawsuits. And Teresa, she can't blink an eye without them bringing it on.
Yeah.
You know that.
There's a TMZ article every time she goes to the bathroom.
That's
Like,
Yeah.
exactly right.
it's absolutely insane. And then like you said, there's lawsuits, there's claims that he doesn't pay his staff. There's all these things in the blogs, and we never see discussions of it on the television. Not
It doesn't
once.
fit the
Not
narrative.
once do any of the friends bring it up. No, nobody brings it up. It's 100% true. We see it
100%.
season after season. Since season 3, they just get this little bubble that's a little weird. And anytime she wants to change her little career and get a new dream, they just follow right along. Because you are the it girl for fashion in Jersey.
Thank
Let's
you.
just be real.
Thank you.
Let's be Posh was the spot,
That's
and
so
those
much
first
fun.
seasons, they were always
They
there.
were always-
And it's like even think the fight with Danielle Staub when she walked to the store with the with the
That
lady
was
in
my
the front with the
favorite.
phone,
That was hilarious.
I peed my pants.
and she calls you Danielle. What are you talking about?
It was funny though when she did her confessional and she said the girl went like this and I should have went like this. I peed my pants. She was funny. No, she was funny. We got a kick out of her. We
Yeah.
really did.
Kim, you and Melissa, y'all were good at one
Yeah.
point. What happened to
Yeah.
your relationship with Melissa
Yeah.
to where y'all weren't as good?
Yeah, we were good for a while. We were good on and off. I live very close to them, right? So people contact me and tell me different things, and I know the real deal. So here it is. We become friendly. I even got her, Joe, Giudice, and Teresa together. A friend of mine got a limo service. We all went into STK. We had a great time for Teresa's birthday.
wow.
And they were like, the Gorgas were like, we're not coming if Kim doesn't come. That's how close I got with them. But honestly, the shit that I hear about them, like the stuff that I know, and like my friends come to me, like they screwed me out of money. They like all these things. It's so hard
Mm.
to ignore it. I recently, I'm going to say it was last year, ran into Melissa, the Fuda girl. It was Margaret. Yeah, the Fuda girl, Margaret. And what else was there? Melissa, Margaret, Fuda, maybe just the three of them. And they were at a restaurant that I go to all the time and they were sitting outside. So I just walked past and they were all like, that's Kim D, that's Kim D. They were saying that to Rachel. So my friend cracked up. She goes, because all you did was you gave them a look over your shoulder. And I get a text the next day from Melissa, next time you see me, you could say hello. I understand what you do for a living and all this kind of stuff. So you just never know where you stand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do come at her a little bit, more at Joe.
Do you think that Teresa shares any blame in her conflicts with Joe and Melissa, or do you think it's Joe and Melissa all by themselves, really?
Oh God, it's
Question.
definitely both are to blame. There's no question. Now I'm going to tell you why. And Teresa could get mad at me, and I don't care. I love her. We're friends again, but she knows I tell the truth. Teresa has a way. I'll tell you a quick story about being in my studio. I'm into this whole baggy look, like I wear the baggy pants. Okay.
Yes.
And Teresa knows I'm single. She thinks no one should be single. All right. So she knew Michael, the man that passed away. So she goes, oh, I wear this tight outfit. I guess it was the red one. And she's like, you look really good. She goes, see, you should dress more like that. And she goes, and you definitely will get a boyfriend. Okay. So now someone that's not not as sharp or doesn't understand her way might take it not as a compliment. I took it as a compliment and go, you're right, Teresa. I have to wear tighter clothes. For when Melissa brought the cookies, she was basically saying, she said, when you go to someone's house, you should bring pastries. Okay. But she didn't say it that way. It's her delivery.
Exactly.
Her deliverance, the way she says things. So Melissa was never really accepted into the thing. Like they really weren't thrilled. Okay. It happened way too fast. They didn't like her background and all that. So I'm sure on Melissa's part, Teresa had said many things to her. Like she said her forehead was too far back. She shouldn't wear her face, her hair. I don't care what people say about my looks. All right. I'll be like, okay, whatever. But certain people, when they're a little insecure, they would freak out. So I believe it was both of them. And I think they're very similar. I
agree. I can see that.
Very similar. I think that, very similar. And
in what ways do you think Teresa and Melissa are the most similar?
I think in the way they portray, how can I explain it? The way they like when they were the kids, the way they were dressed up, the way they wanted the pictures, how it's almost like, I don't want to say Keep Up with the Joneses. I don't want to use that, but the house was so important and the decor was so important. And the
Image.
party. Yeah.
The way that they mother
Yes.
and wife was very
Yeah,
similar.
like
Yeah.
her hair,
Yeah.
the way that they both wore it, big and full, and the makeup that they like, it was very, very similar. Teresa would get mad because Melissa would like the pictures that Teresa took of the kids. She goes, "Who's your photographer?" So Melissa was like, she felt like she was copying, and I think that's the greatest form of flattery. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was like a combatant right from the beginning. So I think
Mm.
it's both their faults. Now, Joe, on the other hand, didn't handle the situation properly.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he could have handled.
I agree with that 100%. I think
Yeah.
the biggest riff for me when we see it, I think, is that whole the way she got on the show. I think was really what put that nail in that coffin. I
No,
don't think they were ever going to rise back up from that.
no.
Mitch, I want us to get back on our script we got here of
Okay,
questions,
go ahead.
but I wanted to ask this too, Kim, but just before, just to confirm to see if you might know this. Did you ever see any of these Facebook messages between Danielle and Melissa to where back in the day Melissa was saying, "Hey Danielle, what can I do to get on the show? Can I film with you?"
Yes,
Because
when
Danielle
she
has
said she put the
claimed
kids to
that.
bed.
Yeah.
It was,
Did you know
yeah,
about
it
that?
was supposed to be Facebook and emails. Okay.
Yep.
I have not seen them, but I believe that happened 1000%, because when they did the
Me too.
reunion and Teresa jumps up screaming and yelling, "Stay out of my family." It's because because Melissa had told Danielle that Teresa didn't go see the baby, which she did. But they're
Yeah.
there. And here's the thing also, Teresa brings Danielle back on the show, and she was supposed to show those. But she's like, "Oh, I didn't want to ruin the family worse than it was." Teresa gave her, listen, she should have blown it up then, but
Yeah.
she didn't,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
I do believe that's when they gave the contract to Melissa. I think when they saw the way Teresa reacted to what Danielle said, that was a green ticket to give to Melissa.
1000%, because look at the way she reacted. This is going to be good TV.
She manhandled Andy, first
Throw
of all.
him like a rag doll. Throw him like a rag doll.
She threw him right on that chair. She went
Listen,
right for it.
that's
It
how
was
she is.
incredible.
I've dealt with her. When she was at the North Jersey Country Club, I had the back of her dress. She was dragging me all along, chasing me out. She's a tough cookie. She's a tough cookie.
I love
Yeah,
it.
but I've never seen them. I don't think Teresa saw them either. I mean, I believe they exist. But again, I didn't see them. And I believe 100% when she came on, I think it would have been huge for her to show them. Huge.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
she
would
should
have.
have.
It would have vindicated in
I
a
agree.
way.
If you don't,
I'm vindicated a
right,
lot.
if you don't want to show proof of something, why are you bringing it up? Why are you saying
Period.
come with or don't
Period.
come at all?
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Kim, what do you think is the biggest issue though with Melissa wanting or trying to join the show? Is it the fact that she didn't speak with Teresa first? Do you think that's the biggest issue with it?
They weren't speaking at the time. They
Right.
weren't speaking at the time. They were not on good terms.
Which is why Teresa didn't want him on.
Yeah,
From
they
what
were
I've
not
seen.
on good terms.
But who would?
I know.
Who would want to film with the
Exactly.
family that you're fighting with? And then,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So Teresa clearly didn't trust them at the time anyway. And there was definitely issues. And I believe that Joe Gorga was very jealous of Joe Giudice because the father, Teresa's father, adored him. Adored him. So there was a little jealousy. There was jealousy between Melissa and Teresa. There was jealousy between Joe and Joe. It was not good, but it was good for TV.
Sad that, yeah, it's sad, but it's true.
Good for TV.
Kim, I feel like when it comes to you, like you're one of the most informed people around New Jersey. You're always making this accurate predictions. We're always learning new information. And even actually in an OK Magazine article, you were rumored as a source,
Yes.
saying that only Dolores and Melissa are returning to New Jersey, while Teresa's getting a spin-off. Can you confirm if you were actually the source of that
Yeah.
information?
I was, first of all, I loved what happened afterwards. Everybody was so mad, not the cast, but the people like that little jerk off Adam and all those other assholes, they lost their shit. And Adam's like, I called Margaret. So here's the thing. And then the two cousins, I called Teresa. So Teresa, Melissa, Dolores, they couldn't say one way or the other. They can't say if
Yeah.
they received a letter.
Right.
So they can ask all they want. Number one. Number two, the other girls who didn't get this letter, who didn't get this, do you think they want to go around telling people? Of course not. They're going to ride this out as long as they can. They get free shit. They get appearances. The minute you understand what I'm saying? So if you didn't get that letter, okay, you're going to sit back and go, I didn't get fired. No, you didn't, but you didn't get the letter either.
Exactly.
So I said it, and we'll see what happens in 2026.
Ooh, so excited.
Oh, okay.
Stand
So
in it,
following that
Kim.
So following that article, Andy Cohen on Radio Andy said there's no informations or plans for New Jersey currently. What do you think the reason is behind that delay of New Jersey? And do you believe that that's true?
I believe that they're scrambling still. What this letter was,
I do too.
right? I believe what this letter was a maybe letter, a possibility letter. Like, don't sign with anyone but Bravo. Here's a little money, take it, sit tight, go do your appearances, but we possibly have something. It's a possibility. There was nothing guaranteed, but the other ones didn't get anything. They're released as of 6 months of February, which was February. They're released. Okay. So Andy, when he answered that, of course he's going to answer that. There are no plans for Jersey yet. They're still working on it. They don't know who they're going to use. Okay. Right. They don't know, but they know this. Let's put this one on ice. Let's put that one on ice. And that they're worth a little bit of money. Let's control with the situation and maybe we'll work it out. That's the deal. That's exactly what happened. No one knows for sure. So he is right in saying that nothing, because they don't know. The girls don't know. They don't know.
And if you look at the three that got the letter,
they have an idea.
Dolores and Teresa are being booked other places. So I'm sure they wanted to like put a little placeholder. And they're always teasing Melissa. So they're always going to kind of keep her in arm's length. And you could definitely tell, exactly like you said, picking those three is very telling. It's very telling.
And it's not even Melissa. It's Joe. You have to remember.
Thank you.
Joe's really the housewife. With Joe, with Joe comes Frank Catania. Okay. They are a team. No matter send Frank on my show. So they're a team. Joe brings the guys. Now, let me tell you something. It's very easy for Joe Gorga to get friends with any guy and pour drinks down their throat. That's his gig. Correct? That's his gig. What else does he do? He has parties and he does shots out of blow up dolls' asses. What else? Think about it. He could be with you guys. You could come on the show and and Joe Gorga would still be Joe. But Melissa, what she brings to the table is Joe Gorga. That's what she brings to the table. And I'm not bashing her, but he is more the housewife than she is.
Yeah, no,
100%.
Facts. And
he's messier than she is.
And Kim, Melissa, for her to have been on the show as long as she has, no iconic moments, no phrases, no sayings. You as a friend, you aren't even a full-time housewife, and you have plenty of sayings, catchphrases, memes, gifts, however you want to say it. But speaking of the casting of New Jersey, I would love to hear from you on, if you were sitting behind the desk, who would you cast for the upcoming season, including yourself, if you want to throw yourself in there?
I never listen. I don't need to pat myself on the back. I really don't. I really, really don't.
We'll do it for you.
I swear to you. I'm going to tell you why. I should be number one.
Yeah.
I don't
disagree.
I don't care. I don't give a shit what my title is. I'm not. Andy Cohen says I don't see Kim D as a housewife, and I took that as a compliment. Do you understand what I'm saying? He didn't mean it to be mean. Okay. Put me in there. Now you're getting the truth. Now you're going to, everyone has to step up to the plate now, because they know I'm not going to tolerate their shit. That's number one.
Yeah.
I'm best friends with Dolores, right?
Okay.
She comes in.
Yeah.
Very good friends with Teresa. She comes in. Okay. Now, I happen to like Fessler. I think she's funny. I didn't like her. I didn't like that she has a potty mouth and all that stuff. I like her now. I don't mind Fessler coming in because she brings some whatever. Bring a couple of new ones on. Bring a couple of new ones. But like, I think Teresa's the OG. I really do. I think she's the OG. I do. I think Teresa needs to just say, you know what? I want the money, I want the contract, and I'm going to deal with what happens. And if Joe has to come back on because it's Joe, remember who he brings. He brings Frank Catania, and he hangs around with the younger dudes, bring them together. But if you don't have someone like me who's going to be the conductor, I don't have a dislike for Margaret. I just don't. But I believe I just don't. I don't have a dislike. I don't have an right. Fuda screwed himself because he kept going to the network and he was a crybaby. I do not see that
right?
back. Oh yeah, he went.
Yeah,
I didn't like
such
that
a
one.
big. He got
Big
too involved.
crybaby.
Like, chill.
Crybaby. But if you do bring Joe back, right? And you have Frank, they make that fun bro shit. So you could have any guys.
The romance,
I think Louis should take a back seat.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
I think they should.
In fact, get out of the car. Not even the back seat. Get out.
Exactly.
So does that mean he doesn't show up and film with the group?
You don't have
just
to.
with Teresa?
Right. He has Gia and she has Melania.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah.
And they're great. Yeah, they're great for TV.
Okay. Do more of that. And do more girls things. Okay. And yeah. And and I think it would work. But see, Siren's production is the one that made the mistake. I'm going to explain to you why. There was there was two of the best producers, Lucilla D'Agostino, and also at the time when I was on, Carlos King. Lucilla, when the girls would act up, she's a tough bitch. I love her. She would get in her car, she would drive to Teresa's house and say, listen to me. You don't tell me what to do. I'm going to get your ass over there. Jacqueline Larita, they would go pick her up. I'm not filming. I'm not there. Get yourself together. Get in this car or we're going to sue your ass. That's what they needed. They had nobody strong enough to do that. So either you put my ass on and I'll straighten them out, or you put me as a producer that walks in and off the show.
I would love to see you as a producer.
Because if you give me a little power, I will show you how easy these girls are.
Yeah.
That's the way I think.
Well, speaking of producing, I know that I watch your podcast and I love it. But I kind of wanted to get some tea because I know that you were on Behind the Velvet Rope for a while. Can you tell us why you left and you decided to go with the real Kim D, which I love? It's so much fun. But what was that transition like?
Tell me what you like about it real quick because I have Barbie here sitting with me.
What I love about you is how quickly you talk and how quickly you can call someone's bullshit. I just love someone who can do that in an interview. And the way that, like, when you did your interview with Jacqueline, it's just funny because we haven't seen you guys be friends in a while. So the way that you just get in there and it's just right back at it, and you're like, no, don't talk to me like that. I love that. It just feels very connected. It feels very grounded.
Unfiltered.
I relate. Yeah. I very relate to that kind of content. So like that's why I was so interested when you left Behind the Velvet Rose and you got into your own. Like, what was that transition like? And
what happened?
Okay, so first of all, I think we really started it during COVID. Okay, and
yeah,
David and I were very good friends. Okay, David's Jewish, so he never really experienced like a Christmas thing. I had him in my second room. I put a pink Christmas tree in for him. My mother accepted him. My mother never liked him, but she accepted him. So make a long story short, I did it as his friend. I knew nothing about Patreon. I'm not techie. Like I have Barbie's computer in front of me. Okay. So make a long story short, David, when I first met him, he's in this little small apartment in New York. That's fine. None of us are multimillionaires. Okay. So now a year into me doing this podcast, I don't know anything about podcasts with him. He's saying how many bags he's buying and he's getting the place somewhere in the Hamptons. And so two of my friends are saying, Kim, he's making money off of you. I said, well, what am I going to do? It's his podcast. He's my friend. I got to do his podcast. So my other friend goes to me, he doesn't have you on his podcast. You're on his Patreon. People pay to listen to you on a Saturday. Right. So now I say to him, David, the least you could do is pay my cleaning lady. So he bitched. Swear to God. So it was 100.
I love
I
you.
swear to God, right? So he bitches and moans. Every week I got to bust his
Mm.
balls for the money. He pays the cleaning lady. Now I have my friend going to me. Now he gets a 5-year lease in the Hamptons, a bigger, beautiful townhouse. Swear to
No.
God, rents an
Whoa.
apartment in Hollywood, California,
She got money.
and he's the VIP in the Hamptons at Louis Vuitton.
Oh,
Because
Oh.
yeah.
people subscribe to the Behind the Velvet Rope podcast because
Patreon.
of Kim D.
Because of
The
Kim
most
D.
Because of Kim
viral
D.
moments,
Yeah.
from that podcast are involved Kim D. So
Yes.
he was
Yes.
really cashing
You
in
better believe.
on you.
So much.
Oh,
Yes.
So
you were a
much.
workhorse. You were just working
He
for
made a
him.
couple
Go that
made a
kid.
couple $100,000 off of me, if not more.
Oh, Kim.
No.
Oh, I'm so
Okay. So
sorry.
now,
Wow.
Nasty work.
nasty. So now, finally, my two friends come to me and go, this is really ridiculous, But okay, so I say, David, you're making a ton of money off of me. This and that, whatever. He goes, I don't know who's filling your head with all these lies.
Oh.
Mm,
And then that was it.
mm.
That was it. I said, you know what? I'm moving on. I'm moving on. He goes, well, if you do extra shows, like I can pay you more. No, thank you.
Extra.
Imagine this. No,
Extra.
thank you.
Oh.
Pay you more?
Pay me more. Meanwhile, I start my own Patreon and I make these big announcements. And everyone that paid, they go, we thought the two of you were partners. We had no idea what he would. Yeah. So
I did too.
yeah, at least 400 the first day dropped him and joined mine. Yeah. Oh, at least 400. Oh, yeah. Because they said some of them had paid for the year, so they had to wait. He'd be like, because again, I don't know what the hell's going on. I really didn't at the time. We gotta do it at 7:30 in the morning. You know why? Because he wanted it.
Oh my
and he
God.
knew it had to be up by Saturday. Okay. I didn't
7:30 in the
know.
morning.
I'd be like, David, I don't wake
That's
up until this
ridiculous.
time. So I would be like, for him as a friend, running down the stairs, getting my phone, holding it like this, trying to drink my coffee. And then if my dogs barked, he would be like, oh, her dogs are barking. Excuse me, Mr. $100,000. Place in the Hamptons, place in Hollywood. And here I am in my pajamas, not a stitch of makeup, trying to do his show. I mean, it was really
Ridiculous.
You
amazing.
never win when you play dirty, in the words
You
of
can never win. And he could have made it work to where you were fairly compensated,
Yep.
to where it was still working.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he didn't. But I'm excited, Kim D, because I think you're better off on your own, better going
Yes.
solo. You don't need to be in any contact group.
Absolutely.
And I do wanna for a second give the brochure audience a taster. So I wanna get real with Kim D and get your take on some of what's going on in the Bravo
Okay.
universe. So, throughout the Bravo universe, we've seen many legal scandals and housewives behind bars, including Teresa, on your franchise, New Jersey. Now, Karen Huger from Potomac, I don't know if you watch, has been sentenced to jail for 1 year, and it's been confirmed that Potomac's going to be resuming filming without her. Should Bravo have waited for Karen Huger on Potomac the same way they waited for Teresa?
No,
Or
because
do you
she's
think
not
it's
that
not gonna-
significant. She's not as significant as Teresa was, And let me tell you something.
It's true.
Whatever Teresa did, she did. I don't believe she even knew what the hell she was signing. I'm going to stick with that. I don't care what anyone said.
I agree
I
100%.
really don't. I really don't. Karen
I agree.
Huger took other people's lives in her hand. Was her fourth DUI? I don't even know. 3, 4,
Mhm.
whatever. I do not have one glass of wine and drink. Okay, not one. I don't
Yeah.
take the chance. She deserves to go to jail. I'm sorry. Listen, and I don't think they should wait for her. I think Bravo, and I'm going to be honest with this. I think they felt a little responsible for what happened to Teresa. I just have this gut feeling. They followed her to
Mhm.
jail. They brought up all the articles. Remember when her and Jacqueline have the fight about, the
Yep.
fraud and all that? Knowing Teresa, I think all you guys can say this now. Knowing Teresa, do you think she really sat and read these mortgage
Absolutely
No.
not.
There's no.
Well,
No.
she wasn't that girl at that time. She was very
No.
taught to be a wife, and so her husband told her to sign something. She
She
signed it. She
signed
went
it.
on
But
and she probably
we have a
shopped
lot of
that
other
day.
women who do the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you trust your
and she went
husband.
and shopped the rest of that day for Gia. That's how I think that went down.
1,000%. So
You trust your
I
husband.
believe, listen, she went, she did her time. I felt terrible for her children, everyone. I still feel sad for Joe that he can't come to this country and visit his children.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, I still feel bad about it. I think they got the raw deal, but someone like Karen for doing what she did 4 times when they have the money, there's
Yeah.
Uber now.
Get a
You
driver.
can get a driver. Like, what are you
Yep.
doing?
yes.
What are you doing?
Absolutely.
Exactly what I
You're
said.
crazy.
No excuses.
Yeah, so let her go. Let the other ones go, and let her learn her lesson. That's
Yeah.
all. As far as Bravo getting sued, I think that's
Yeah.
you know that I believe that's one of the reasons why they didn't have the reunions. Because Fuda was
Right.
going
They were
to, yeah,
worried.
they were like, we don't need this shit. Fuda
Yeah.
wants to sue this one, sue that one. They're like, frig this. I'm not doing the reunion. And I think that's why they got so mad, because that's where they make most of their money. They make millions
Well,
at
Yeah.
the reunion.
Well, one of their lawsuits a little while ago was actually after the last Ultimate Girls Trip, which is the cross-franchise girls trip that they used to have.
Yeah.
And Brandy Glanville and Caroline Manzo got into some type of situation, which ended up in a lawsuit from Caroline Manzo.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that season not being released? We don't really get to see seasons
I
not being
think they
released
should
like
release
that.
it.
Yes.
Number one, maybe cut out
Mhm,
the
I
part
agree.
with Caroline. I don't believe Caroline's story for a minute. I believe she got caught up that night. She got drunk. She might have done a couple other things. She said shit she didn't want to say.
Yes.
She did shit. She woke up the next day. I've been drunk plenty of times, woke up the next day and didn't want to know what I did. But it wasn't on international
Yep.
TV. Okay.
Yep.
Well, my friends try to
Exactly.
tell me, I'm like, yeah, that's why you get drunk, right? So I believe that a lot of her story is made up. And I thought she thought she was gonna walk into this show and be the peacock and make her big grand entrance back into Bravo, and it didn't work out that way. I heard the girls
Yeah.
matter.
Mhm.
The door was locked for her entrance.
Yep. So that's
Yeah.
what I believe. I don't believe, and I believe, look what poor Brandy's going through. I mean, it really,
I
Yeah.
mean,
I feel bad for Brandy.
and Brady doesn't lie usually. She's usually pretty. That's why they hate her so much, because she's
Yeah.
usually the one saying what's going on. So I agree with you. That's exactly how I
Yeah.
saw it. As soon as I saw all the things out, you kind of can see. You're like,
I
no,
don't believe one
she's
word.
suing them to stop it for coming out because she knows she doesn't want it to come
Not
out.
one word do I believe of her.
But there is good news in the Bravo world. One of your close friends, Dolores, just won Traitors.
Yes, I'm so thrilled
What did
for
you think of-
her. It was very difficult for her being locked up like that. Like, they're locked in a room.
I'm sure.
You know, she got to make, I think, on a Sunday 2 calls, and they listen, and I got to be one of the calls. You know, so I heard, oh yeah, she'll tell, yeah. And she was like, what? She didn't know what was going on with the reunion and all that. So this poor girl's locked up. Thank God she won, you know. So she's locked
Yeah.
up.
I know.
She has no outside world. So she's like, if anybody knows, it's Kim, right? So she has, so they're listening to the call. I go, no reunion, no this, no that. She's like, oh my God. So she got slammed in the head. She comes home. She's like, I can't believe it. Basically, she was out of a job when she came home.
Yeah.
They knew. Once they canceled the reunion, they knew there was going to be a problem with the show. They knew.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's so yeah, she did just win.
Yeah, thank God. I'm glad.
And her son just got engaged too. I just saw that Frankie Jr. just got
He's
engaged.
so wonderful. I've known Frankie since before he was born. Okay. He is the most wonderful. Both of her kids are very
I love her daughter.
wonderful.
Gabby is
He's
so
such a doll.
interesting.
He's such a
I
gentleman.
know.
He's like an old school gentleman. He's a doll. And I heard she's sweet. I never met the girl yet. I heard she's very sweet.
Yeah.
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 Good.
And Kim, before we go home, I know that you did talk about your dream cast for New Jersey with Melissa and Joe being one of the most successful couples in the Bravo universe. Would you include them
Yeah.
in that dream cast? You would?
Definitely.
Yes.
I would. You know what? I know Teresa like want to smack my face for it, but you know, this people like that. They really liked it, and they're like, "Oh, we're tired of seeing them fight." Do
Right,
you
people
really
loved it.
believe that? Do any
No.
believe that anyone on this earth is tired of seeing them fight?
Well,
There's not one person that could say with truth, being truthful, that they don't want to see more arguments. But I think it'll be a little different. It could be a little
I'm
different.
just,
You know what I mean?
I want to see them both.
Well,
I know
I'm
people
trying.
choose,
and that's
but I
what
want to see
most
them
people want to
both.
see. Now, Teresa's saying, I will not film with Melissa. This could be what they're thinking. Okay. Bravo can be saying to themselves, this is only if they really want to put them together.
Both
They
of them
want to
together.
keep the
Yeah.
cast together.
Yeah.
Bravo can be saying, let them sweat it out. A full year,
Right.
okay. No other offers. Now they come to them 2026 and they go, listen, you do as you're told now,
Mhm.
or you're out of.
And you can keep getting this check. Yeah.
That's it. Or you're done.
What about
This is why I think you should definitely come on, because this is the
I
year
know.
they keep promoting the Friends of, and I'm like,
yeah?
where is Kim D's promotion?
Listen, I would love from
Because
your lips
we've
to
been
God's
waiting for
ears.
years.
We should petition it. We should
I love
petition it.
it. Listen, I'll go in there. They can say whatever they want about me. I don't think there's one name I haven't been called. And I say I probably am every one of them. And I really don't care. Keep it coming. I don't care what you call me. Especially at one point they had, like, even when I came out with the 3 girls that got the letter or whatever, she's a liar.
Yeah.
She's full of shit. Yep, I'm all the above. Let's see what happens.
Uh-huh.
I'm all the above. Call me what.
I love that. I love with you. It's like, I don't care what you call me unless you don't call me.
Yeah.
'Cause-
What about Danielle, Kim? Would you bring her back?
No, and I'm going to tell you why. Even though she's great TV, great
Mhm.
TV, she's really not right in the head. Like, there's really something wrong there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had what I might do, I might give her a special appearance to come
Mhm.
have lunch with Teresa and say, here, I'm sorry, but this is what was sent to me back then. And
Yeah.
have her moment. But to have her on the cast, no. But maybe some special appearances and, give her some money. That I can see, but not as a cast member.
Right, okay.
I think she's better for like a celebrity Big Brother type of thing. But I think you're right. I think having her as a
Yeah.
housewife, it's a lot more than just filming. It's the appearances, it's having to wait, it's all
Yeah.
that stuff that I think she doesn't do well
Yeah,
with.
Yeah.
No.
Especially,
she's disrespectful to Andy too. Like, you know what I mean? There's been issues.
yeah.
So, but to come on, maybe to throw her some money and say, listen, come on the show, show the emails, and we'll pay you this and that. Like maybe two times she could come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She would do it for money, but not as a cast member, not even as a friend, because nobody really wants her on there anymore, because it's just not right in the head. There's something wrong there. She had so many opportunities to straighten out her life, and she didn't.
Well, Kim,
Yes.
as you evolve as a businesswoman and in media, what are you most excited for in 2025?
Honey, I got so many things. Well, first of all, where's my book? Let me show you my book. Hold on.
Yes. Let's talk about My Life with the Big Boys.
Here we go. So let me talk about this for 2 seconds. So here's my book.
Please.
Okay. My Life with
Yes.
Yes.
You look like a G, Kim, a gangster.
when people read it, okay, they're like, even like Jen Fessler came on my live and she read from it. Jackie, Dolores, they're like, we had no idea about you. And I'm like, because no one asked. Do you understand? No one asked. I wasn't like, no one asked about my past or whatever. Okay. So then I have a thing with Farrah Abraham. I just interviewed her and I go, what would you like to do? Yeah, Farrah Abraham, the
T-Mom. Oh, I
just
know.
interviewed her. It's on the podcast.
I'll have to check that out.
She said that if
Yes.
you would like to do anything but what you're doing, because I'd love to be a screenwriter, this and that, whatever. I said, well, here you go. Write the screenwrite, of this book. So what I really want is I want to broaden my Patreon. I want to broaden it. Okay. I'd like to have more people experience the book and maybe do something with it, because it's a really interesting story. It's not just because it's mine. It's an interesting story. And so many people had asked me, who are the big boys? I go, well, the ones that I knew, you don't get any bigger. So yeah, I grew up with.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I love animals. The more money I have, the more animals I'll buy and adopt. Not going anywhere. I don't really travel anymore. So yeah, really I'd like to take the show, the podcast on the road. I have the panel, Angel, Barbie, Lorraine.
Yeah.
I'd love to take it like on the road a little bit and do some fun shows. What we're also going to do, which I think everyone's going to love, we're going to recap Jersey. over the summer, as soon as Beverly Hills is over,
Love it.
right? We're going to continue
Yeah.
with Atlanta, and we are going to
Yes.
start from episode 1, season 1.
Oh, perfect, Kim. You can give us all the
Stop
scoop.
All
it!
the
Yes.
behind the scenes. Then, of course, I'll have
Yes.
Jackson on, talk
I'm
about
here
some of
for
her
it.
scenes. I'm sure I can get almost all of them. I just had Frank and Tanya on. Dolores will come back on. Fessler did film before she was a friend. So I will recap for you guys, and I'll really get into the nitty gritty of what took place. So I'm hoping that my Patreon, which pays my bills, by the way, so everyone knows that.
Okay.
I'm semi-retired. I don't have Posh anymore. I do have the website,
Right.
Yeah.
poshbike.com. But
All
I'm
right.
going to do that. And I'm going to do it in a big way. No holds bar. Like, we are not going to hold anything back. It's going to be big.
I'm so
The
Yeah.
excited
bros are
about that.
excited
Amazing.
about
Wow.
that to rewatch and binge watch.
Yes.
That's gonna be fun.
And
Yeah.
we'll,
Yeah.
like, if you
I
watch,
can't
right,
wait
if you
for
watch the
it.
show, we pull things up on the screen. So we'll
Mhm.
show
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We'll go
Cool.
through the
I love that.
christening. We'll go through,
Oh.
it's going to be good.
Ashley pulling her hair at your
Oh,
event. I
yeah.
need
We're going
it.
to do it all. We're going to do it all. So be ready for that. So you can tell your peeps that I'm
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
doing it soon. And they have to download Patreon. It's Get Real. We have a $10 thing right now. So
I'm looking at it now. I'm going to
yeah,
subscribe.
you know what I mean? So it's $10.
Oh, we're
We're
subscribing
trying to keep it
100%.
reasonable. We understand that people are struggling right now. But remember, I still have to pay the studio. I pay
Right.
to edit it. And that's how I pay my bills, guys. And that's how I live here. And I take care of my 7 dogs.
Love it.
Everyone looking
Amazing.
I
in,
love
we're
it.
going to add the link to the Patreon in the bro chat description. So down below, you'll see it very easily. You'll be able to click
Yes.
it and get all of the exclusive details. Kim, we had a lot of fun with you.
Oh,
We
so
really
And I'm
much
did.
sorry
fun.
that I had to cancel. I'm so sorry. I
Oh,
never do that. Like, I was prepared for you guys. I was like, I felt so bad because I'm sure that you all had your schedules change. I don't do that.
oh,
I'm a
It's all
pro.
right.
I'm here for you guys, and I hope that you enjoyed it.
Thank
Yes, the
you,
bros
Kim.
loved having you on Bro Chat. We had so
loved
much
you.
fun. We'll see you again
Keep
next
in
time,
touch.
Kim.
Keep in touch, okay? Maybe
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
we'll do another one.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my
absolutely.
Another
God.
one, like, we'll
Yes.
do like maybe the first 2 seasons, and then we could come back and we'll talk about it.
Yes, that'd be
Absolutely.
perfect,
All
actually.
right,
And
guys.
Kim, I'm going to
Oh.
DM you too. I'm going to DM you about something as
Okay,
well.
yes, do it. Okay, you can give them all, in my Instagram, whatever. DM me any questions you have. Let
Kim, I've been a fan
I
of yours
will.
since the
Thank
beginning.
you.
So
And by the way,
excited.
follow
Such
me
an
on
honor to
social
meet
media as
you.
far as answering people. Barbie handles like the videos and all that, but I'm the one looking at the DM, so I'll answer you.